Hello everybody, it's me again. It's been a little bit, not been feeling super well, still kind of trying to recover from some illnesses, and this, like to have some positive things to uplift my spirits. This game was not one of them. Now, I guess you could say it's possible that the expectation for this game is perhaps a win. At least maybe a draw, maybe the penalties. We've done before in Leagues Cup. Didn't go our way then. Certainly didn't go our way this time, but it was even worse. It was even worse. We didn't even make it to penalties. And something that is even more obnoxious is that we didn't play that badly a lot of this game. At least not so much to merit, such a horrendous scoreline. But at the end of the day, that's the stat that matters the most. A lot of the other stats that we had weren't that bad, but again, that does not matter. None of that matters. The performance tonight, aside from what I was saying earlier, still has the hallmarks of the Atlanta United team that we all loathe so much that we wish we didn't have to. It still has the weak mentality, and I love the words that the commentators put out about it that I think really hit home, and it's that the team didn't appear to have the strength to carry the badge. I don't know if this team does. I don't think it does. It hasn't for a while, it seemed. Teams before this didn't seem that way either, and this is quite clearly a historically bad Atlanta United team, which is remarkable to say, because we've had teams with Jurgen Damm on it before. Adam John, Kubo Torres, the list goes on. And yet somehow we've managed to find a way to subvert those expectations and be even worse. So, it's a rough time. Stocks are down for Atlanta United fans these days. Boy, the hits just keep coming. We're going to get into it a little bit more with 4 guests tonight, I believe we have lined up. And before we get into that, we have AJ joining us. Let me just make sure I don't have any crazy transitions on real quick like we did last time. No, I don't. I think we're good. We are good. AJ, welcome. You're back from the stadium. I mean, I people were the commentators were saying, you said it a little bit in one of your posts on Twitter, Rex, the booze, etc. This has been a thing that's been happening for a little bit. At a certain point, like you kind of also said, I mean, when people, and this was one of the commentators noted this, people are streaming out of the stadium before the end of the game. When that third goal went in, people were leaving in droves, and at a certain point, you're not even going to have enough people in the stadium to boo the team off the pitch.
Yep. And it's just sad it's come to this. It is absolutely, it brings no joy out of me saying any of these things. But it's the truth. I didn't boo, but I know everybody else was going to boo. And, at this point, it's a representation of what the fan base is feeling. And at no point do any of these fans deserve this. They showed out on a Wednesday night when the team is playing this bad. And we came, there's probably, I would say maybe like 15,000 that were probably in the stadium. I mean, it was pretty empty. And yeah, just getting any chance going is a struggle for sure. But I mean, it's the bed that the team has made. And yeah, I mean, it's another abysmal result in Leagues Cup in spite of, yes, a decent first half. And yeah, also, again, in spite of a first goal that, yeah, I mean, pretty much all the goals were pretty much gut punches. Definitely not in the run of play. And yeah, it very much just was they were able to smash and grab because essentially we were chasing every bit of the way. Even when it was level, it just wasn't really, it didn't seem like we had the onus to, really get on top. It was, VAR calls that definitely didn't go our way. A lot of ref calls that didn't go our way. And, I mean, some line changes that really, really annoyed me. Because you cannot sub more than 2 players out of a line. I mean, even more than 1 player out of a line in one substitution window. Like, he subbed 2 defenders in one substitution window. What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't even happen in little leagues. Like, you can't do that. And yeah, I get it that some people had some minutes management or whatnot, but at this point, like, don't play those players.
I know. I mean, I don't know if you caught the press conference, but there's a lot of interesting things said in it. One thing is blaming the players in terms of their fitness levels, that a lot of the players weren't fit to play this game. They just weren't. And they were tired, and you could see it. He said the passes, the decision making, it all left their bodies once the tired and fatigue settled in, and you could see it.
Yeah, I mean, that was evident in the previous match. Around the 60th minute, the guys stopped running.
We've been saying this for multiple games now.
Oh, for sure. But it's, pretty much the entire season. It's like we've chosen the players that basically can only play 65 minutes or so. And that was exacerbated with Mateusz Klich. And, he's gone now, but it's, yeah, you have some players that can definitely go full 90s, but, it's a matter of, can the whole team go full 90s? Usually not. I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of these players, it's like right before the end of a half, stop running. Mm-hmm. And, beyond that, it's the keeping Derek Williams in there. And unfortunately, yeah, it was already a little bit of a mess, but it's just how many errors has he made this season?
Yeah, Derek is the ship has sailed with Derek. He is his usefulness has been outlived, and he had some bright spots previous season. I mean, in his first season with us, it was like kind of exciting to see some life out of him, but unfortunately, the career will not be salvaged here, and we definitely have to move on from him. It is time. So he will be joining the band of merry fellows who will be leaving us, departing from the club, hopefully, just like a lot of others.
Right, and I think at this point, I mean, I don't want to see him start another match. It's just he can come in as a sub.
Man,
that's probably.
I mean, it's difficult. Doug Robertson, to his credit, asked Ronnie Dyla, like, hey, what does this mean when all of your center backs are essentially not fit to play? And you just got rid of multiple center backs. Like, what does that mean? Yep. And he's just like, I don't really know what to tell you. So it's a rough day at the office. For Ronnie, I'm sure it's not the position he necessarily wants to be in. Funny about saying that is that when he kind of rambled for a minute about the state of things, in admittedly a very frustrated state, understandably, he said, I've never been in this position before. Like, this is ridiculous. I've never lost this much. I've never multiple consecutively not been able to get, produce results. This is unprecedented. And he was flabbergasted, gobsmacked. He was just like, I don't know what to tell you. It's more the same. I know you said it in the title of the stream before he did the press conference, so props to you. Like you said, basically, same shit, different day. But he's just, he's like, it's the same stuff. I don't really know what to tell you. And when you have the front office, you have the manager coming out at press conference saying, I don't know, what do you want me to do about it? Like, that's disheartening.
Well, of course. I mean, it's disheartening, but I think the difficulty is that, okay, can we blame the Derek Williams mistake on Dyla? To a degree, the selection, sure, but again, he doesn't have fit center backs. Stian Gregerson can only go for so many minutes. Enya Mihai has only just come into the squad, and Barakal isn't even in yet.
Yeah.
And then Matt
Noah
Edwards,
Cobb's
the other
gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then
Efrain Morales is gone. Yeah, it's just like, what do you do?
I mean, so he is in a bind, to be fair, but it is, yes, as well, the team has yet to gel enough in attack. Moranchuk is on a scoring spree. Who would have thought those words would have been uttered? But yeah, I mean, ultimately, these game states are killing us because, I think we play well enough. We just are not clinical. We don't have the killer edge. And ultimately, like, this stuff happens every single match. And I don't know. It's like, it's really difficult to see how that is something that Ronnie Dyla can actually change. When it seems like, large in part, those issues lie in the players. But it also is, I don't think anything's going to change with the coach as well, because these moves are made with him in mind. He's in the room. He's making the decisions with Chris Henderson. I mean, is there, like, that would be...
That's long-term planning right there.
Exactly. Like, you'd be shooting yourself in the foot. You'd be shooting yourself in the face.
Yeah, because you're right. If we got another coach in here, he's going to be like, who are all these guys? Why? Oh, these guys are all specific for the previous guy. Like, so this kind of hamstrings me now for at least a couple windows, because it's going to be like with, the previous, you got these guys on long contracts and a coach coming in and going like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? So he has to basically punt the whole season, which was this season, by the way. Until they can get a lot of that movement off. They thought they could fix it with just 3 DPs, but obviously that didn't work out.
Yeah, there's a lot of stink, and they have to move it out. They have to take out that stink, and they have to fumigate it. They have to, pretty much make sure that whatever is still in the house is completely gone, because, it's just not like. I think there's useful players. Like, we don't need to throw the whole family out with the bathwater. It's like there's definitely useful players, but larger part, you have to find the players that can actually connect with each other as well, and that's been the issue all season. There's the Dyla out crowd has been getting louder. And they've been talking to me about it at the stadium as well, and in our comments.
It's a lot of the Discord messages I've seen, on X and everything too.
Right, but again, I implore, who's going to want to come to this mess, and really, who have the pedigree of Ronnie Dyla, one. Whether he's doing a good job or not, it's a different thing. We've seen that he can do a good job. So, some people were saying, Rob Valentino. This is the thing. Rob Valentino was still out of his depth last year. Like, yes, from a spiritual leader standpoint, from a Ted Lasso standpoint, absolutely a motivational leader that can, win us a couple playoff games. But larger part, though, his record still not good.
Here for the Summit Building.
That, everybody, is the wonderful sounds of Marta. I'll mute Nick just for a moment, and then I'll let you. I'll tell you when I unmute you, Nick, because it's loud out there. Okay.
But yeah,
right.
I mean, it's something that, and I have to mute it too, maybe, because lose my train of thought. But yeah, I mean, it's just when you have, yes, Rob Valentino that didn't really do that much better of a job, but yes, he got us into the playoffs in a very miraculous way. Yeah, there's going to be some nostalgia. But are we wanting to play that type of football for an entire season? Like, I don't think so. I think hopefully as well, though, obviously it would be that Rob Valentino would get his players and, you know, all that. But what is Rob Valentino's way of playing? You know, it was probably more, you know, the counterattack football, just because it was that, you know, it emphasized the strengths of the team.
Right.
Because that's all we could really do. But right now, yeah, it's like, I don't even think we can really counterattack very well. Like, who on the team
Believe it or not, with how many fast players we have, it seems like we can't even do that.
Right. And, yeah, there's just something fundamentally broken in the player pool that we have. And, like, I don't know if Rob Valentino can fix this.
No, there's no indication that he'd be able to. No amount of FEA is going to fix this right now. It needed to have been a sustained, you know, long, like something with eyes towards longevity in terms of a super culture in placed here, which I don't think he had the chops to install. So, you know, that's why we went with a new coach who I think has more likelihood of being able to do that. That's what I thought, and I thought that was the mature decision to cut bait with Rob and to go with a coach like Ronnie. And so that's what we ended up doing. And I think it was probably the right idea. So, Nick, are you do you have a stable connection right now on the train? Nick,
might still be on mute.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm here.
All right. So, what did you think of the match? Give us your quick and dirty details and how you found it and everything.
That absolutely stunk. I mean, that was. I don't know if I can qualify that. See it, Chris.
Bye, Chris.
It's my flight buddy, Chris. My flight sister, Chris, as I call him. He's getting off at Midtown.
Don't
That
dox
was,
him.
if not the worst performance we've had all season, one of the worst. And
Really, you think so? I thought they did okay. It's just the results, you know, the resulting scoreline and our, you know, things just kind of didn't really fall our way. Like, the stats were all right. The eye test was okay. Like, we were in the game, but it just, there were a couple of moments where we switched off and had really, really dumb mistakes. I mean, the Brad Guzan nonsense is not like we were bad today. The Derek Williams thing in a vacuum by itself wasn't we were all collectively bad today over the course of 90 minutes. It was just that absolute boneheaded move. So, you know, I think that the performance was okay. It's just, obviously, this was definitely not the result we wanted.
Sorry, my stop's coming up.
No problem. Everyone knows how MARTA works, hopefully.
Just a moment. Talk about yourself.
All right, so, there was like 3 other things I want to talk about, but I lost the train of thought like 5 minutes ago because I had those thoughts like 5 minutes ago. So yeah, AJ, if you don't have anything, I'm going to read some of the chat.
Let's read some of the chat, and then let's roll the.
Oh yeah, actually, this is a great time to do that. It's a great time to do that. Let's roll a ad of one of our sponsors right now. Let me go do that. If I can find it, that is.
But yeah, our lovely sponsor, Giant Sports Cards. Since we're not going to do a podcast tonight, we're going to run this as the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So it will show up on your Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcatchers. But
All right.
yeah, there's too many games, too thick and fast. So anyway,
There you go.
run it.
This segment is brought to you by Giant Sports Cards. For passionate collectors of every level, from rookies to veterans, Giant Sports Cards is the modern-day sports card shop that celebrates your love of the game, because only Giant brings the fun, treats every customer like an MVP with their GOAT level of customer service, delivers a game-changing shopping experience through technologies and amenities such as their Ultimate Collector's Cave retail shop, and offers the hottest cards at the lowest prices. Make sure to use our code FANTV and get 10% off your order. Check out Giant Sports Cards today at giantsportscards.com.
All right. So yeah, thank you to Giant, and also guys, join our Discord and also join our Patreon. And at the highest level, you guys will be afforded some card giveaways from unboxings that we do. Here's an example: 2024 Topps Chrome MLS cards. We do European cards too as well. But if you guys collect cards, if you're interested in that kind of thing, if you are on the highest Patreon tier, then you get into private meetings that we have where we will be doing giveaways of, when we do the unboxings, all the Patreons get all the top cards that come out. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, if you're a card collector, you just want to maybe get a signed card, if that pops up in one of the breaks, of perhaps an Atlanta United player. It's happened. Other players too. We had a Cucho Hernandez signed card the other day. So yeah, if you're interested in that kind of thing, join up. Yeah, so that's really a cool thing that Giant has afforded us. So yeah, again, thanks to them.
Yeah, and it's nearing the end of the sponsorship. Hopefully we can re-up, but make sure, guys, to use Fan TV and get it today, get it tomorrow, early, often, because, yeah, it definitely helps support the channel and what we do. Mm-hmm. Thank you guys so much.
All right.
But back to Nick.
Yeah, Nick, how you doing? You are hustling.
Yep. Fortunately, my shuttle was here.
All right. So,
yeah. Lost now.
Final thoughts about this game. What did you think? Like, in terms of, so yeah, you were kind of critical about the team's performance tonight. Was there anyone in particular that? Right, but what? I mean, there were things. So, what in particular kind of stood out to you in terms of a bad performance?
The defense, it continues to be our Achilles heel. And I mean, any defender can make a mistake. Let's be real here. I mean, I'm willing to grant Mihaj a pass or two here, but not marking your player on a corner.
The number 9,
that's
too.
Kind of, a number 9. I mean, that really, really, really grinds my gears.
Yeah,
it was a bullet header. I mean, he got a free run pretty much. It was, very frustrating. That is absolutely unacceptable. And to be fair, if he had just gotten into the match, he maybe didn't even really know, the front from the back of a player. So,
well, let's talk about the second goal. That the ball was slipped to him with also Mihai. He just kind of walked past him, and he was, I was hearing from people in Discord. Well, Mihai was trying some kind of like offside trap, but wasn't on the same page with the other defenders. So he just left him onside by accident, and he was wide open to receive a pass. And so you don't clear your lines enough. This was something the commentators harped on, and I think if you have eyes when you're watching this game, and we have done this so many times, where we do not clear our lines, we do not get the ball out, third time, and all of a sudden it comes back and it's a goal. It happens so often.
Yeah, there's not enough urgency and there's not enough sense of danger. And unfortunately, it's also this like Mihai again. Yeah, he probably should get a pass, unfortunately, but also fortunately, probably because it's this. He's not match fit. Like, yeah, he might be somewhat, at least like able to play, stand there, but in order to be aim speed ready and able to, anticipate at every single bit of danger, you have to be playing games. And he just got in. And so, anybody that might be slating him too hard, I would urge against that. But if he's doing this, 8 games from now, it's a whole different story.
Yeah, and we could also frame it as a good thing in a way too, because if you think about it, if he was trying to do an offside trap, he's thinking probably smarter than our other defensive players. He's maybe anticipating our team to be smarter and better than they are. He's used to playing with smarter back line that all kind of uniformly will move up when the ball is moved forward. Instead, they don't. They stay still. Ball comes back. Guys play it onside. Mihai moves up, but the rest don't. That'll, be smoothed out, hopefully, with chemistry building. But it's frustrating when you see it, and this is something we've seen with other players with talent that have come here. They come here and go, oh, I was expecting these guys to be somewhat competent, and they're just not. And now I have to kind of almost dumb it down in order to play with them effectively. And that's very frustrating when you see a talisman have to come here and play like that when they're not able to do what they really should be doing.
Do you feel that we better wait a second and see the other pieces come in that we've acquired and see how they potentially all play together and see if it improves, to see if we get anything going defense-wise at all?
If we get something going defense-wise, we get something going defense-wise. If we start winning games again, we start winning games again. Does it change anything about this season? Not even in the slightest, in my opinion. So all this is just building. It's all preamble for next season.
Because it's also this. Like I said on the last stream as well, the Leagues Cup has come at a very terrible time, especially for the transfer window just opening up. Especially, it's irrelevant, essentially, what moves you've made. You have also less than 10 games left in the season. It's just, the transfer window is pretty much negligible. Has no use in the season, essentially. It's just, it pretty much needs to happen 2 months ago, almost. And we basically have a whole bunch of players that we can't really bet in until pretty much the season's over, and pretty much when Leagues Cup is over. So great, we don't get to actually see what we have and really assess the players that come in. That's a failure on MLS, but it also is just it compounds the just terribleness of the season. And
as the people in 5 Takes have already said, we're headed for the Open Cup next year. So,
and it's that. It's exactly.
I don't mind that, not a bit.
Yeah, I'd prefer being in the Open Cup. Obviously because weaker opponents there, but it's also double the pride, double the fall. He could also just get knocked out by a USL team again, and then it's wow, oh my God. But I think next year, I sincerely believe we'll be significantly better than we are now. I really believe that.
Yay, rematch with the Indy 11.
Oh God. As long as it's as long as it's not Memphis, who no longer can hurt us, so I'm happy about that.
I know, they might be able to hurt us from the grave. I don't know. You never know.
It's like that therapy session. It's Memphis they can't hurt you anymore. Don't worry about it.
We'll end up playing Dax McCarty and all the MLS analysts.
Right? Yeah. What's their team that they go on? The Menace or something?
I forget. I should know that.
The Menace.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, if we win against them, Probably at this point, probably lose, but that's sad. That's a sad thing. All right, Nick. So, final thoughts.
Well, there's not much for me to say here. I mean, that happened, and of course now the ultimate slap in the face potentially next Wednesday. I mean, I know we have another game on Saturday, but next Wednesday is the one I'm really fearful for.
Yeah.
And I don't have to tell everyone here what this is.
Yeah,
Daddy's home.
Exactly. I wonder if it's gonna break the fan base.
It should.
We've all been saying if we lose this match, this is rock bottom.
If you lose to your former head coach,
the guy we specifically fired because we said he wasn't good enough, and then here we are.
Yep.
Well, will Pineda get a coach fired? We'll see.
Yeah, no, I mean it's like AJ said, Ronnie's staying here, I believe, for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
But it's just like in any other situation, that would be probably terms and conditions of a firing. So, damn, man. All right, Nick. Well, get home safe. Appreciate you coming on.
I'm almost home.
Awesome. Good to know.
Thank you all very much. See you soon.
Yep. See you at the next one. See ya. All right. So, we're going to get our next guest in, and I'll read a little bit of the chat real quick. Strong says, hello again. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Crimson God says, love the name of the feed. Yep, that was all AJ. Justin said, ATL poo-pooed again. Dyla tactics have to be questioned. When you put on Lennon and put Hernandez at the left, it baffles me. He also says,
I think that is minutes management, and it's
a lot of this is like with the center back stuff we talked about. It's just Roddy's hands are a bit tied. I was a little surprised, in terms of the starting 11 with ELL not making the starting 11 and TRA instead. I thought perhaps the logic of that is TRA can tire out the defenders long enough that when ELL comes in, he could just really run at them. And additionally, if we're doing a lot of crossing, because, we probably will in the beginning, middle parts of the game, TRA is good at that. That's his strong point. Maybe that's what he's thinking. But obviously that didn't really pan out. Either way, it didn't pan out with either player. So very frustrating there.
And I think that's also, you don't want to just run down ELL either if you're starting him.
He's been playing forever. Yeah.
Right. So TRA, being, I think, good enough to start a Leagues Cup match, that's probably throwing him a bone in that sense. But I think we've also seen, unfortunately, it's like TRA starting not as good as when he's, coming on later. So, maybe a couple matches notwithstanding last year where, against Miami, all that. But, yeah.
All right, let me read a couple more of these, and then we'll get to Gavin. Derek Williams making mistakes for the majority of the game, and he doesn't get subbed off until after the goals. Gavin also says there were 20,335 people. Yeah.
Yeah. On that, Derek Williams is the only fifth center back, pretty much. And unfortunately, that's the case because he's come back from injury, and I think he's played three matches. If we had Morales, it would be a different story. Obviously, he's more match fit than Derek Williams.
Yeah.
And Matt Edwards would also be more match fit than anybody else. But, he's injured as well. So it's just, it used to be where our left back was the only position that, oh man, we just can't keep anybody fit. It's like the drummer from Spinal Tap. But no, now it's just pretty much our entire back line is just the drummer from Spinal Tap.
And Dyla constantly was complaining about it. I mean, he's doing this for a lot of the season. He's harping on it again now in the press conference tonight, saying it's just, again, another example of not having any consistency in the back line. And that's large in part the reason we have so many deficiencies back there.
It is, because we don't... When have we had our first choice back line? This was one of the two matches that we had our first choice back line ish. I mean, Brooks Lennon technically is the first choice, but not lately, thank God.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, let's not even talk about the Lennon extension possibility.
Oh, jeez, that needs to not happen. Anyway, Gavin says there were 20,335 people at the 2021 opener versus CF with a limited capacity. If there were less than 20,000 people here, that's telling. I think the number of like confirmed people, like the buying of the tickets was around 30,000, but as AJ said, he was pegging it more around 15. Let me get a couple more of these before we get to Gavin, so we don't fall too far behind. Justin Flournoy says, yeah, blaming the players and the FO selling the two young defenders. Why? He also says Lennon has to go as well. Yeah, we kind of just said that. Brian Baird, we are the Browns fans at this point. Just as, yeah, I know.
We've won.
Yeah, that's true. We have won something. That's true. We've won multiple things.
Yeah,
let's not forget we won multiple things.
Exactly. Yeah, the cabinet's it's not full, but there are
it's
things
far
in it.
from full, but there are things. Yeah. So yeah, he said the new players are the in between. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like they're not there yet in terms of fitness. Fernandino Ronaldo says, what happened to the team we ended with last season? It gave me hope during the playoffs for this season. Now it's like we're going backwards.
It's fool's gold. What happened last season was the players were actually motivated, but still, it's the same team that did not win many games and snuck into the playoffs. That was barely good enough to get into the playoffs, except for a miracle. So, yeah, if you largely stick with pretty much the same team, you're seeing the results of pretty much not really changing that much.
Yep.
And that's why a lot of these players that are out of contract are gonna be moved on from.
Oh yeah.
But anyway,
it can't be quick enough. Just a couple more and then we'll get to Gavin. Umi says no one should get paid until we win a big game. Alan Salazar says Dyla dodging demanding questions. Wow, 3 Ds, the alliteration in a row. Brian Baird says should have kept Valentino. We hear this so much, but I just don't think that's the right call. TRA is a
I would love to hear arguments for it, and also this, it's we don't have to read every comment. We really don't.
I know.
It's basically, if you guys want us to read your comment, you can do a super chat. Happy to read it there because
All right, so
there's a lot of people.
Let's get to Gavin. Gavin, how are you? Welcome in. So not exactly a great game. How are you feeling right now, and how did you how are you receiving this blow for the start of our Leagues Cup campaign in 2025? Is it similar to what it was last year, or the year before, I guess, because we didn't do it last year?
We still haven't won a Leagues Cup game. We still can't win one Leagues Cup game, and
that's all I wanted.
I'm just disappointed. Give me at least one win, even if we don't make it through the group stage. Let's at least win one game, man. I cannot take losing to Gonzalo Pineda, who We ran out with Gonzalo Pineda, and we're probably about to lose to them.
You know it's gonna happen.
We're probably about this season. I know
it has to happen at this point.
When was the last time we won a game? It's been months, and if it's not going to happen, that means we're not going to beat Atlas either.
We're winless in 9 in all competitions.
I mean, it's been a while since I've been on here, and nothing's changed one bit. Things changed one bit.
I mean, what did you think of the performance tonight, at least? Like, the performance seemed all right.
Okay, listen. So we concede first, again, like usual. But in the second half, I thought we did a little better. Because usually the first half we do good, and the second half is where
that concession in the first, though, I'll say is kind of against the run of play. I don't think Necaxa did anything miraculous to score that. We scored it on ourselves. But
yeah, exactly. Yep, off of Guzan's side. I thought this game was kind of winnable, actually. At a time,
yes,
I felt it was a game that we could have won. We could have won the game, and I was hopeful, even if we couldn't score, we could at least get to penalties, because we've done that 2 times in the past.
I think so.
There was Santos Laguna, Cruz Azul. We lost those, of course, but hey.
And I think DC United was
2
another
points.
One.
Right? How could I forget? Of course, man. Yeah, I'm disappointed. I thought we had a chance to win, but no, you got to give up 2 goals in the second half. And why it happened? Because we keep giving up mistakes over and over again. And AJ, you said earlier, how many mistakes has Derek Williams made this season? How many mistakes has he made with his time with Atlanta United?
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's terrible. We have these players on this gosh darn team. Like, I feel like.
Whoa. Tell us how you
Derek
really
Williams,
feel.
I feel like I feel like he's one of the players that does care for this team, but he's terrible. And he gives, like, we saw it against Miami in the playoffs. Saw it all of last season. We're seeing it more this season, and he's coming back from injury. He's doing the same shit over and over again.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Again, we don't have very many fit center backs, and I mean, let's be real and honest as well. Though, it's not like the other defenders are completely, scot-free, haven't made errors. It's just that, he's doing it on a consistent basis, just like any of his compatriots. But he's much older, and he shouldn't be making these mistakes.
Yeah.
If he is to be a starting center back in MLS. And I think it's evident he's not anymore.
Yep.
And
no, not at all.
that's
It should be Steen and Mihad going on.
It should be. I don't
At
think
least
he can. I don't think he can do it yet, at least. But yeah, I agree with you. It should be in an ideal world. Because Williams disaster class, unfortunately, with what he did. But and that it's funny because that didn't even directly lead to the goal. It indirectly led to the goal. It set up. It set Necaxa up for a corner that they had to do all the work to score on, and they did it. It was an exceptional goal. So good for them. Guy came in like a bullet to score the header. And then for their second goal, it was just, us not clearing our lines, like on the 3rd time or something like that, which is, something we've a refrain, same as the past, that we've heard many, many times.
But the first goal. The first goal was...
Yeah, what the fuck? That was just bad luck. That's stupid.
Exactly. Basically, not even a foul from Gregerson, for one. And then, what happens on the ensuing free kick. And then, Guzan, somehow that's an own goal on him. And the explanation baffles everybody. And, it sets us in this dark path, essentially.
Yeah.
And, it's just it's another Leagues Cup, just head shaker of how do we get here?
It's another goof, it's another gaff brought to you by Atlanta United during Leagues Cup. Gavin, what do you have to say about us not playing Jaden Hibbert? Instead, we played Guzan. What do you think of that?
Okay. So I've seen many in the Discord. I'm seeing these projected lineups, especially from Nick, not the Nick that was just on here, but the other Nick. It was projecting, I've seen his projections, and everyone's saying Hibbert to start. I was shocked to see Guzan starting. I was very shocked to see that. Guzan didn't start last year. We had Josh Cohen starting last year. And I think this was a brilliant opportunity for Hibbert to start, because I thought he looked pretty good against Toronto, if that's the game he played in. I thought he looked pretty decent in that game. I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? It's a whole different tournament. It's not the MLS season. Why not? Instead, we're going to start our goalkeeper, who we've been starting over and over. And honestly, look, I love Guzan. But I think retirement is right there. His age has been showing all season, and he's I think it's time for retirement. But I think we should have at least given Hibbert a start today. Hopefully we'll see him start, against Pumas or Atlas. But if we continue to start Guzan, I disagree.
Yeah, it's interesting, all this, because Josh Cohen was on the bench today. And he started Leagues Cup last year, right? And yes, most people saw the performance of Hibbert and they're wanting him to play. The counterpoint might be that these are Liga MX sides, and it might be too big of a moment for homegrown that hasn't really played against tough competition to a degree, quote unquote. Basically, Liga MX teams are still, if you ask them anyway, they're a better side than most MLS sides, because by virtue, they are allowed to spend much more than most MLS sides, sans LA United, maybe LAFC, Inter Miami, maybe some other sides as well. But most of the sides can spend more than MLS sides. So, that part is interesting that Josh Cohen didn't even get a sniff.
Yeah, it's like,
no one's even talking about him.
Like Rob
He just came back injured, but yeah.
Rob Ursary said on Twitter,
I forgot he was on this team.
Yeah, I know, me too. Yeah. He on Rob Ursary on X was like, we didn't play Jaden Hibbert for him perhaps to get like some decent experience here, just to give up 3 goals. Like, let Jaden give up 3 goals and get that experience. I mean, what is the difference? It's better to invest in your players if you're gonna get, kind of slammed in that way. I get what he's saying there, but at the same time, like, you also have to understand you can also shatter a guy's confidence. So
exactly.
you don't want to break the player. So you have to find that balance. Yeah. But at the same time, I also didn't expect us to let in 3 Necaxa goals. So I thought Jaden maybe 1 or 2. It's like, that's doable. That's bearable. But like 3, if that's what would have happened, which may not have even happened if he was playing over Guzan.
Exactly. Yeah, the first goal, with the comedy of errors, probably wouldn't have happened. But, and it's very telling that Brad Guzan, now that he's got a mask, he's no longer been captain, and nothing's been said about it whatsoever. No one's asked either about it. And, Miggy clearly is going to be the captain going forward. And, it screams that... Yeah, this is probably Brad Guzan's last year.
I think that's what that points to. To be fair, Doug Roberson did ask about it, and the response from Ronnie was, we want a captain that's an outfield player. We don't want a captain that's a goalie. And at the same time, Brad Guzan is the team captain, not the on-field captain. And Brad Guzan will always be the quote-unquote sole captain of the team without the armband. So that was the explanation.
Sure. And that may be well and fine because that's just the PC answer, but the truth of the matter is that he's no longer captain. Let's just be real. And so that is the beginning of the end, because there have been other players that have deserved probably to possibly have the armband as an outfield player, but it took, him being out of the lineup, sort of, and then once he's back, armband's not on you anymore. Yeah, it's pretty much like, hey, we want you to retire, Goose. That
and also maybe it's like Ronnie Dyla is also, because we're only looking at this on one side of the equation, looking at Guzan. What if we're also not looking enough at Miguel Almiron with Ronnie going, okay, what does giving him the armband do? It confers upon him an obligation to try and step up and become the leader this team needs, which perhaps he wasn't seeing enough of before that. So this is an impetus, a catalyst of getting him to be like, listen, Ronnie's saying, Miguel, you need to step the fuck up. Here's the armband. Don't drop it, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, it's an audition for it. But, Gavin, what do you think?
Yeah, Miggy, he loves his team. He was given the armband for a reason when Guzan went down. I think he's got to step up. I don't think he had that good of a performance tonight. He probably should have put that chance away. He hit the crossbar.
Which chance? One of the 5 he had?
Yeah, so many shots. It was at the start of the second half, and he hit the top crossbar. I believe that's when it was. But overall, as a leader, it's hard for me to think of Miggy as a leader. I don't really see it. I haven't seen it on the pitch, but I feel like Miggy having the armband now could foreshadow what we see in the future, because Guzan probably in his last year. Miggy should be returning next year. Maybe. Who knows if he'll be the captain next year. It's his first year back, so we still got work to do next season. But if he wants to keep that armband, he's got to wear it, and he's got to own it like he's the captain of the team. He's got to be that new leader, because it it wasn't good at times. I feel like just having a goalkeeper as your captain over and over, because that's a goal. It's like, I feel like if you want more vocal leaders, they can't just be behind the sticks. They need to be on the field, and hopefully Miggy can deliver that. So I hope we can see that from him, maybe even next season. But as of right now, just we got to get through this.
Yeah, gotta get through the slog. That's right. All right, Gavin, how about your final thoughts on this, on the match and everything?
Okay. Yeah, I got two final thoughts. There's something that's on my mind that. So when we had, like Thiago Almada, Yorgos Giacomakis, when we had these players, you guys remember when we had this issue about like when we subbed off Almada or if he was on international break and if we were missing Giacomakis, Almada, we were concerned by the way our backups looked. And I feel like we still haven't solved that issue 2 years later. And who knows, maybe that backup team would beat this team. I feel like it's possible.
It's possible.
It's like we just keep getting worse and worse, and we can't solve that. We can't solve that issue since 2023. Like the Columbus 6-1 loss in 2023, we were concerned by the way we looked there. We were concerned, just overall when Almada's on Leagues Cup. And look, we stepped up last season in the playoffs, but I don't even know what that is anymore with how this team looks. Because going into this season on paper, we thought, this team was supposed to be a lot better than that team last season, and this is the worst Atlanta United we've ever seen, and it just keeps getting worse and worse. And you guys mentioned earlier, before I came on, if we lose to Gonzalo Pineda, that may indeed be rock bottom. How worse can it get if you lose to Gonzalo Pineda? Might be right.
I think that would be
break
the
fan
worst.
base.
I think that's because we are also currently at like rock bottom in terms of like the worst historically Atlanta United team. We have what, like 4 wins this season? Like it's just common.
Yeah.
So
the MLS season.
yeah, so like it's and then on top of that, so we're probably not gonna make the playoffs. Historically worst season, and we lose to a previous manager. That's the trifecta. I don't think we've ever been close to doing that.
We have. We have lost to previous managers, unfortunately.
Yeah, we lost to Tata Martino in Miami, but like we didn't have a historically bad season though.
Oh no. We lost
Stephen Glass.
Stephen Glass.
That's true.
To,
Well, I thought we weren't going to talk about them anymore.
This is them coming back from the grave.
Stop,
Like I said,
stop resurrecting them.
already.
We need to stop talking about Memphis and move on. They can't hurt us anymore.
But they can. They can. Anyway, yeah. So it is ultimately, yeah. You're right. Just like next week, it's gonna be really telling, and yeah, I don't know if they're gonna be playing to a very many people, but it could happen. It very well could happen.
All right, Gavin. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's just a fucking shitty time, but here we are. So
yeah. One more tiny little comment. I really miss when we would actually win these games against Liga MX teams like Club America, Monterrey, and there's probably another one I'm missing, but I just miss when we were actually able to not lose to them at home. But hey, on a
did you
positive
forget that we won the AmFam Cup?
Oh, that's the most important cup of them all. How could I forget? Oh, Pachuca, and that was also a good Pachuca side too. Yeah.
Yeah, we took down the Gigantes of Mexico in the past. That's true.
Of course. I just miss when we could actually win those games. Now, we got one more game at the Benz, which is outlets, and then we're going to Orlando to play Pumas, which I think is fucking stupid. So.
It is.
Yeah, it is. No, I definitely do that. It's this. Like, I miss winning these against, Liga MX sides, like you're saying, because I miss being a petty bastard after winning these games. And we can't. There's just no fun.
Don't we all?
Like,
And instead,
the meme-
we're the ones. Because, like, guess what, everybody? I don't know if you know this, but fucking Necaxa of all clubs has like a documentary being made about them with Eva Longoria, Ryan Reynolds, and Rob McElhenney, the guys behind Wrexham. And we're probably gonna show up in the goddamn documentary now because
we'd be honored.
This was like one of the first, like, they kept it. Oh, there's a big club, Atlanta United. Oh, they're a big test for, and now they're just be like, wow, we were really, we took down a real test in Atlanta United, and now it's just like, oh my god, man. It's like, why do we got to be like the first stepping stone in a story for another club's success? It's annoying.
Yeah, we're more than honored to have a spotlight right on us. More than honored. 2025 Atlanta United.
Man, because that's the thing, man. I love Deadpool. I love Ryan Reynolds, but man, that's gonna hurt. I did not want to watch that episode.
Yeah, maybe they'll call us up and ask for some B-roll from us again. Like it wasn't the Wrexham B, but it was the MLS documentary. Maybe they'll be like, yeah. I want to get Michael's reaction to how badly that annoyed him. Yeah, let's do that. All right, Gavin.
Gavin, thank you so much. Have a good rest of your night, man.
All right.
Pleasure.
Ciao. See you guys.
Ciao,
all right.
Bella.
Also to the viewers, join the Patreon for free autographs from MLS players, and
It's true. He got one.
Giant sports cards, right? Giant sports
That's
cards.
correct.
Yep. Use the code for 10% off. AUFTV, I believe is the code.
I don't even have to do it anymore. We just have Gavin do it for us.
Yep.
It's just fan TV, but
doing ad reads.
Gavin.
Appreciate you.
Yep. All right.
Cheers,
See you guys.
Take care, buddy. All right, that's awesome.
I love it.
All right, we got two more guests. We have Drew coming in next. Let me read a look at these comments, see what we're doing on here. Bald as Guzan. We're a first half team. We disappear in the second half. Every game is the same. We give up easy goals on our end. We have no killer instinct in front of the net on their end. I'm sorry, AJ. I don't know. Play a refresh team for God's sake. I don't know. I do not fucking know how we can be this shit with this lineup. I know it's kind of crazy. And then we also keep selling our depth. Kyle Apgar says, Miggy put in the captain's performance. He is fighting nearly every game since getting the armband. Also, bad flashbacks on that Columbus 6-1 loss. I was at that game. Brutal. Yeah, man, that was the one where, we sent our guys on the international break, right? And it was like that meme from Friends. It was like, we were on a break! Like, that was, a tough time. Mo Bamba says, if Dyla doesn't get fired after the season, I don't know what the front office is doing at this point. I think I will refer you to our previous comments. With that...
Go ahead, do it.
With that, all I was going to do is introduce our good friend, Drew, to the stream. Drew, how are you doing? Already imbibing, already trying to soothe the pain with the liquid salve that is alcohol. So, how are you doing? How are you feeling? How'd you take this game?
I thought it was going good. We looked good for a stretch here, and then one mistake cost us the entire game, and it's kind of the story of the season. We have great stretch from probably about the middle of the first half to middle of the second half. We have a great stretch of keeping possession, keeping the pressure on, getting good chances, mostly coming down Miggy's side. Miggy was playing well tonight, and him and Hernandez were playing well and combining well on that side. And to have a mistake like Derek Williams had to cough up the ball in that situation and get bailed out by Mihai and then give up a goal like that off the corner. It's just, you could feel all of the energy in that everywhere just suck out of the building, and it was after that goal went in, you were like, that's game. It's over.
Yeah, it's traditional, right? It's a gut punch once Atlanta United takes the punch to the face, they capitulate. They just kind of bend over and fold like a lawn chair, and it just time and time again we see it. It sucks.
I had no idea where you're going with that one, but I'm happy you only went with the line. But yeah. I mean, it's I was in the stadium and I was like, man, empty row. I pretty much just went on a walk, came back, but yeah,
He did a seventh inning stretch.
I did yep, exactly. And it's just, you just shake your head. You're talking to yourself. You're just like, man, you just start to question everything.
If any of the other fans in the stadium, if you ever catch AJ like in a dark corner, just kind of muttering to himself, leave him alone. He'll be fine. He will figure it out and get back to his seat. I promise.
Yeah, go on, Drew.
But yeah, no. I don't know how many times I can talk about this. Yes, there's positives out of this game, but again, we still lose. Like, this is probably the best performance we've seen out of Miggy all season. He played fantastic. He dominated that side of the field, and if it wasn't for a couple inches, we might walk away with the win out of this game. And that's the story of this season, is a couple inches and a chance here or there, and maybe we get better results. But Marinchuk is scoring, getting on a run of goals here, and that's good to see. At least he's been stepping up a little bit more here toward the end of the season, which is good. Latte Lot, kind of invisible when he came in. Sad to say that coming off the bench, he didn't really have any chances at all. TRA, yeah, he did his job. He wasn't fantastic, but it wasn't a negative, which I guess we'll take at this point. Brennan had an excellent game. He was chaos down that flank the entire game. He created the chance for that goal. He was able to kind of beat his man, get around, play a nice through ball to Miyamba, and Miyamba gets a nice little cutback.
Miyamba had a good game tonight.
Yeah. It's just, Miyamba, I just feel like there's a lack of quickness, or it feels like he doesn't make that run forward or that driving run that we sometimes need. We see a lot of that come from Sleesh, but when the ball goes to Miyamba, you're like, okay, who is he laying a short pass to? Who is he? The ball's going, okay, it's either going out wide real quick or it's going back to one of our center backs and we're resetting. And it's a little too predictable at times. He is starting to get better about off the ball runs and driving into the box there. So that's good. We'll see if we can pick up this player from Hull City before and kind of work out these personal terms and get this done, because getting somebody that's more on the line of a Sleesh, where he's not afraid to drive the ball forward and is kind of that two-way player, if we can get a pairing of those two, that'll be kind of interesting to see.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we need ball carriers, that's for sure. And, Miggy is one of them. Saba is one of them as well. And Luke Brennan, I mean, definitely has been, kind of a revelation on the left. I think, it's been fans calling for him for some time, maybe not the whole season, but, I think he's showing, he might be somewhat of an answer to a degree. He just has to really now, because there are a lot of other players coming in, obviously with Alfonso. Yeah, I mean, he's got to fight for his spot, which is good. Competition for spots. And, Saba, it's interesting. I mean, he's just, even in a Leagues Cup game, he can't get a start. I mean, that is the writing on the wall, you think?
A little bit. It's sad to say, because he's had so many big moments for this team since he's got here, and I think it's a product of the signings that were brought in this summer. Bringing Almiron kind of spelled the end for him. It's sad because he's got the talent to play for this team. I think if he had a run of games here, I think we would see that player because he's got the talent. We've seen it for a couple seasons here, and it's just sad.
Would you
honestly.
have Saba on the wing with Miggy on the other wing instead of Luke Brennan then?
I would want to see it, but I don't think it would work. I think Miggy has, especially with some of the performance recently, kind of you can't pull him out of that side right now. And unfortunately, Saba doesn't work on the left. We've tried it a lot this year, and it just doesn't work. It's sad.
And that's what's hilarious, I think. We have two players that are not playing in their favorite position, and then another one that is finally coming into his own a little bit, somewhat. And if we need to break that down, we can. But yeah, essentially, Miggy wants to play as a 10, Saba wants to play as a right wing, and Moranchuk finally is, doing something. And they're connecting a little bit more, Miggy and Moranchuk, which is fine. But, it's not leading to wins, unfortunately, and it's still Latte Lat on an island. And
let's talk about Latte Lat for a second. What the hell was that? Like, that long ball that got to him, and he had all that space and time.
Afraid to shoot, yeah. Well, it was on his right.
He had time to cut back. He had time to get it where he wanted to go, and it just...
I agree. So
the commentators were like, "This is like if this is Middleborough, Latte Lat, he scores that every day."
Yeah, he's lost a lot of confidence. I mean, it's just like he went through a spell where 2 months he didn't score. Like, basically the team has not been feeding him any opportunities, and so he's snatched at every single one of them, except for the 2 he's gotten recently. So, yeah, I mean,
it's so bad. I'm like, in training, do they miss feeding him as well? Like I don't. It's like he doesn't have anything.
Well, that's the thing. It's like in training, he's probably playing against inferior defenders, so that's a lot easier. So it's probably a different story, unfortunately. But what do you think, Drew?
Yeah, that's just the lack of confidence right there. Beginning of the season, even he smashes that into the back of the net, but with how this season has gone for him, he overthought it, basically slowed down too much and let the defender catch up and cost us that chance. I think we need to do something to kind of get his confidence up a little bit more, but we're toward the end of the season. I don't know what we can do at this point because our style of play isn't going to be drastically altered, but I don't know what we can do.
Yeah, I mean, the penalty shout that we had before VAR intervened, Miggy held the ball and then he gave it to Latte Lat, realizing, if we can get our striker going, this might be a different end of the season. But then VAR strikes again, and to get 2 calls that didn't go our way.
Talk about that.
Please go.
That first goal that they scored, that was a weird situation that was going on.
And they didn't show the replays in the stadium, so I only saw with my then a little glimmer of what happened a little bit directly after, but everybody was pretty much in the dark. I don't know if they showed it, on the replays while they're going over VAR.
Excuse me, I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the bathroom.
I was gonna say. So they did. So for their first goal, it was going to be ruled offside because he was clearly in an offside position. But then they gave it they called it a legal goal because it deflected off of Williams' arm. But it was I don't know if the rule is like I think it is, but shirt up is legal, shirt down is handball, if I remember correctly. And it's right on the line, so they went with calling the field goal, I guess. It was a really weird situation. Even the commentators were a little confused about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody had an explanation. The players, I think, they said afterward as well that they were confused on the pitch, and I think the good thing to come out of it was that it maybe galvanized the team a little bit in order for us to come back at least with one goal, but also I think Miggy showing some leadership and yapping at the ref while he was pretty much in his ear or walking over to the video screen. And so I think maybe that's the one positive that maybe had come out of it. But I mean, obviously, yeah. Go ahead.
I was just saying, Miggy has been stepping up as a leader here, and I think that is one good thing that has come out of this season is new leadership is starting to form. It's slow, but it is. If Miggy is stepping up, a guy like Schleich, who kind of is that on-field leader as well, he's maybe not as vocal, but in how he plays every game, definitely is a leader on the field. And I think it is time for the passing of the torch here, and I think it is time for us to give Hibbert a shot here and just give him a run of games, see if he can handle the pressure. And this is the time to do it. See if he can handle the pressure of these big situations. If he can, cool, we have a goalie going into the next season. If not, now we know we have to go look for somebody else.
It's interesting though, because it's this, some people might be saying that we can't get knocked out of Leagues Cup, even though this is a pretty terrible result to have suffered in the first match. It puts us in a very big hole. But, essentially, Braguzan, the most experienced, you probably still have to, see out the rest of the competition, but maybe it's Hibbert for the rest of the season in MLS. Maybe it's that. But, I can see the argument for people wanting him to play the rest of the Leagues Cup games, but I don't know. I don't see them doing that because the importance of these results pretty much, if we can sneak our way somehow into, being able to get into the next phase of Leagues Cup, then I think that's probably prioritized versus developing a kid. It's unfortunate, I think, but I mean, I'm open to the counter argument, but I don't see them, like, they still are absolutely prioritizing results versus developing kids. That's evident in our most saleable assets were the kids that we sold, and we're bringing in maybe stopgaps or kind of coming up into their prime players, and that's a win now move. But we're not equipped to actually win now. It's just, again, the transfer window just comes in at a very inopportune time, in my opinion. But
it feels like it needs to be like a month earlier, honestly. It feels like that transfer window needs to be moved forward a little bit, just so, yes, if MLS wants to make this a massive tournament and stuff like that, yeah, you want all these new faces and everything to be ready to go for this big tournament. If not, you're just going to be trying to integrate players as they go, or they won't be eligible for the tournament. It's just, it's not smart MLS wise at all.
Right. And that's why that talk of moving it to the European calendar, it does make some sense to a degree, but but
Fingers
it does
crossed.
make it, it does make it very difficult to some end because, it's a lot of cross-country traveling where some of these, like the Vancouvers, the Torontos, the New York, the winters, like Chicago, are bitter and they're brutal. And
You didn't say
some of
Minnesota.
them,
You should say Minnesota.
Minnesota as well. I mean, Seattle probably to some degree. I mean, it's nasty out there, and for these players to have to play a majority of their season in those conditions when they already have that cross-country type of travel, I mean, they have to figure out a new paradigm because that's not going to work. Like, that's...
Yeah, that is going to be brutal now thinking about that. That's going to be awful. You definitely get a lot more orange ball games, but do we really want that?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yes, I prefer probably that schedule, but that's why the United States is just that unique. We're just such a large country that it's just like, how do you do all that? Like, I think it'll have to be hyper regional.
Yeah, it would be. Well,
That was the suggestion, wasn't it?
Was it? I mean,
like break things into regions, like the NHL kind of does it.
yeah.
I mean,
And if it is, I mean, it might have to be, but yeah.
All right, Drew. Final thoughts on the game.
move on to the next game. Let's see.
You want that
what we can
Gonzo
do.
game, don't you? You want to come quick,
Oh,
right?
Please, no. We're losing this game for nothing, and it's going to hurt.
Honestly, if we don't lose the Gonzo game, I might actually be disappointed at this point.
Oh, jeez.
Man. Well, anyway, Drew, thank you so much as always. Pleasure. Happy Retro Night.
Good night.
Take care, bud. So, while I have you all here, I just wanted to say, in our Discord, for competitions like Leagues Cup, and also for a season long that spans the entire season, competition for like table and standings placements, how you predict that, and also for the MLS playoffs, and also US Open Cup if we're in it, we do bracket competitions, and you can win a whole bunch of really cool stuff that we have if you come in first place predicting the results. Like, for instance, this is upside down. Scarf like this. This is a an Atlanta United Austin inaugural match scarf. We also have other interesting ones as well, just to show you a couple. And another inaugural match scarf. This is the Inter Miami one. And other items as well, assorted as they come through the door here at Atlanta United Fan TV HQ. We get also like MLS All-Stars. This is, let me just point out the date for that, 2018. So a little bit better, a little bit more interesting than the MLS All-Star games that we're have been seeing. Other different things like little pieces of history from Atlanta United, like these little hotel key things that they put out at one point. So like the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, they're like hotel key ring things. Bobby Dodd Stadium. So like little trinkets, memorabilia, things like that. So yeah, join the Discord. We do these competitions like year-round, basically. As long as Atlanta United's playing, we'll be doing them. Yeah, so get involved. You can win some cool stuff. Anyway, let's get to our last guest. And before we do that, I'll read a little bit of the chat. Okay. Let's see. What do we got here coming in? Crimson God says, is there a way to disband a team and create it so we can have a coach with all his players on the same page? San Diego seems to be a good example. Well, I mean, I will say that they are in a position that benefits from expansion. They just have expansion benefits. It allows them to do things that other teams can't. Atlanta United benefited it from when they had that as well. All the expansion teams get it. It will eventually run out, and they will no longer have those benefits, and they won't, all that is glitters will cease to be gold at that point. Whether they continue to be, if they can continue to be good for them. We were not able to be, essentially. I mean, 2019 is where it wore off. LAFC did, Minnesota would not. A lot of those others, they just kind of burn out, unfortunately. So, so you have to take, San Diego with a grain of salt. Anyway, we are joined by good buddy Nick. Nick, how you doing? How was this game? I know it was absolutely horrible, but how did it land with you, and how does this shape your feelings going forward for the next game and then the dreaded Gonzo game?
Well, I'm excited for the Gonzo game. I was always a Gonzo truther, not a truther in I thought he was the next Pep Guardiola, but a truther in I know that this wasn't your fault, buddy. You didn't deserve this. You didn't do this to us. We've been almost 0.5 points per game worse.
Yeah.
Since we fired him.
Yeah, and a lot of the
right?
refrains that, Ronnie says in the press conferences are very similar to the same things Gonzo is saying. And it's very frustrating to hear that. And you're just no, not this again, not this again, not this dark place.
And that's why Ronnie's still here, because, they already tried that. They already fired a manager. Whether Ronnie's the right guy for the job or not, it doesn't matter. He gonna be here. So,
and disclaimer, we're not saying Gonzo is was absolved of all sins.
Oh, no. Like I said, he is not Pep Guardiola.
Because I know people will jump down our throat if we give any kind of glazing to Gonzo.
He was a perfectly adequate MLS manager, and he had the 1 year he had a moderately healthy team. They scored 66 goals. Wouldn't we die for that team right now? That 2023, summer to fall of 2023 when Saba and John Day and Tristan first came in.
I mean, Nick, we are a historically bad Atlanta United team. We would prefer any Atlanta United team over this.
Yeah, pretty much every other one. Yeah,
even not gonna lie, I don't know if I would prefer 2024 Rob's team to this team. I don't know if I would. I would have to have that conversation, because everyone likes to remember the 7 games where the miracle happened, but nobody remembers the 3 months without a win that we had there either. And we haven't hit that yet with Ronnie. We haven't.
Oh, it's coming.
It hasn't been.
Because we've been glamorizing. A lot of people have been glamorizing, that's the word, right? Glamorizing? Yeah, anyway.
I'll pour water on that fire so quick.
Yeah, and it's
I'm not the Rob guy over here.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'll answer your question about Leagues Cup. I mean, I hate Leagues Cup. I'm the biggest Leagues Cup hater in the world. There's nothing in it for me. 2 of the 3 worst stadium experiences I've ever had. Sorry, I'm playing with my cat because I was at work all day and then I went to the game, so I have to give them attention. But 2 of the 3 worst stadium experiences I've ever had were in Leagues Cup, and maybe 3 of the 4. I'll say at least 1 per year, including today, and I'll get into that another time. I'm still kind of seeing red about it, but I want to say since July, it's draw, loss, draw, tie, another one, and then loss. I can think of about 4 or 5 ties in the last couple games. They're not losing games like they were. They're just not they look great until the zone 14, the Pep Guardiola zone. They can't get the ball in the net. They can't find the final pass, and that's what we've been saying all season. And I've had this theory, this kind of working theory. I've talked it over with some folks, and I'll talk it over with you guys now.
It's also the back line that's been bad.
Well. And that's the thing is, when you're, other than today, when you're scoring 2 goals at home, 3-4 games in a row, you got to win one of those. You're putting the goals in the net, from random people. There's no generative quality chances that are consistent. There's no patterns of play that are making that happen, but you're getting your garbage time goals, your golazos, and you're and honestly, the team goal they scored today was maybe one of the best team goals they've scored all year, if maybe the best. The way Moranchuk just flicks it forward to Luke, he does all the work, and the keeper spills it, and he's there, after making the run. It's a really good team goal. That's what we want to see. That is what this is supposed to look
at
like.
least in the box.
Yeah.
That's
And you can go back, and even Moranchuk's goal against not Seattle, was it Charlotte? Maybe it was Charlotte, where Miggy does all the work on the right side and he's right there. The last goal that Miggy assisted. Miggy's up to 6 assists on the year now, by the way. He actually has been pretty good. But like that's what this is supposed to be. And I think we're done with our toy now, so I'll pull this up. But that's what this is supposed to be. And I kind of have this theory, and if you haven't watched the most recent Rooted in the Stripes, that's where I kind of got some of this from. You should go watch it. It was actually really interesting to see, Chris Henderson and Ronnie Dyla in those scouting meetings and talking to the guys on Zoom, who we now know is Juan Barrocal and all that sort of thing. But it seems to me, no, we're done. Sorry. It seems to me like the plan is we're going to get these 2 center backs in, and we're going to get this midfielder in, and we're going to let the 3 DPs try and figure it out. And it doesn't seem like those 3 DPs are going anywhere. And I think that's fine if that's how you want to play it. If you want to pretend like the defense was the issue, then I guess that's fine. If you want to see what it looks like with... I
mean, both things are true.
8-9 games.
They're not scoring and they're conceding.
Right.
And it's game state. That's the thing.
And you're putting and you're putting yourself in this just horrible game states where you're playing against a low block all the time, and our team's not built to do that. Like, our team is built to do what it was doing the last 3 home games, which is score first and then score off it. Like, that's how they were good in 18. They weren't blowing every team away like 3 or 4-0. They did sometimes, but like that revisionist history is kind of wild. Like, they would just score early and then they would just maintain their lead because teams would have to come out and then they would have the space in behind, and that's what we're trying to do now. We just don't have the quality to finish our chances, and that's where we're at. That's why we keep getting these bad game states. So.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, it's like the opponent keeps scoring against us, or even if we do score first, we can't keep the leads because the defense
make a crazy mistake or something like that.
Yeah.
That, or it's a completely makeshift back line that hasn't really played together all season. First choice, what's that? That doesn't exist for Atlanta nowadays. And it's the build up to get to the attack doesn't really happen. Because yes, your makeshift defense doesn't know how to play on the ball well enough to actually get it to the right players. And so
there's no distributor in midfield either. Like, maybe Alzate is that guy. I mean, when I was doing that write up about him, like I was looking at his FBref. I was looking at his FBref page and thinking, like, that's a ball winner. Like, that's a ball winner we haven't had in the 2020s decade, like, at all. And if he can be that, and then you have Sleesh there, who's kind of a 8-6 hybrid, but he does a lot. He does it all. He's jack of all trades, master of none, but he can do a lot of things right. Like, maybe that works. Maybe we're going to see that partnership kind of flourish. And
good.
And I mean, maybe, but I just don't. I understand the folks who are saying, like, I don't trust the front office. I don't trust any of this.
Of course
like,
not. Yeah, they haven't earned the trust at all.
And I mean, like, and I don't think Chris Henderson deserves necessarily trust, but I would say maybe, like, we have seen him identify a problem and address the problem. Mm-hmm. And I wrote that a month ago when the Mihai news broke. I've said it many times, and I think a lot of other people kind of agree with me once I say, like, hey, like, he saw a problem and he is addressing it. He, like, even with the Leo Afonso, like, bringing him in from Miami, which is a fleecing of a trade that, if you haven't read my latest article, go through that journey in time, because it's absolutely incredible. But it's incredible, man. But
even if he doesn't work out, it's like
he can play 0 games and it's still hilarious. Yeah. Like, it's still great. Yeah.
He flipped 170 GAM into 225 GAM and a player.
And the guy. And then, like, you could have, if it was the international slot for the guy, we would have all been like, hey, like, good job. If it was the 225K, those things usually go for like 150. If that was 225 for the thing we gave up, like, yay, good job. You got both. Chris said, this is for my office, and this is for pushing me out, and this is for hiring that other guy.
Yeah,
love it. Here for it.
Yeah, and it's this too. It's like,
I mean, he's undoing some of the damage he did with the trade with Joseph Martinez.
Yeah, he could be. I guess he was the sporting director down there when Joseph went down there. That's probably right.
He was.
That probably lines up.
But But yeah, so he has earned the benefit of the doubt to a degree, at least for so far that he's been with.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
This isn't his fault that this is where we are.
It's still largely a Boca team, yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
And the amount of he has jettisoned 25% of the team in this window. Like if you look at the senior roster from day one, like the opening day 20 or whatever else, plus a couple of guys that were injured, like 6 players is like 25% of them. We've never had a full 30-man roster this year.
Yeah.
And,
well,
we got at it, like you can talk about all that, but
yeah. Well, to a degree there to answer that, because it's interesting because yes, the homegrowns. Some people have gripes about it. Again, they're the most saleable assets, so unfortunately, they're in a win now mode. It makes sense. And plus, Morales was already wanting to leave, so
you don't need to bring 2 center backs in over those guys. Like I know Abram's not here either anymore, but Noah Cobb doesn't need to go from 4th to 6th on the depth chart. Like he can just go somewhere else. And hopefully, maybe we could bring him back. Like that's on the table for him. If Rain wanted to go, like let him go. Maybe he'll. Like his dad was all over Twitter. We were talking about that in the Discord when he was playing for Bolivia and playing well. His dad was all over Twitter being like, give him a contract. He wants a new deal. Like, okay, let's send him to Montreal where they'll give him a deal. So that's not going to happen here.
Yeah, and because it's like, we're in this 6th cycle that we have to win now, not develop the kids. And, even in a lost season, you don't play them and you don't see what you have. But yeah, I get it from their end. They're trying to rectify the mistakes with experienced veterans. But it also is, Mateus Klick is a choice from Chris Henderson. So he's, recognizing the mistake.
Same day, you're right.
Yeah. But, it's, some of these other guys too, with who you just jettisoned with, Abram, like that, just opens up a spot with somebody who might be better. You're taking a flyer on with a loan, and we'll see. And as well, Alzate. It's seeing, okay, well, if this is an answer, but I also have the doubts because is this guy able to be the guy that can actually, score from midfield for us? That's what we need. We need that player, and then we also need the guy who can run the game. And I'm not sure. He seems more like the ball-winning guy that can be a little press resistant, but can he run the game for you? Because if he can, I think you could do away with Moranchuk. Because if you can get the ball to Miggy, and if he's the 10,
and maybe the answer is a more modern, like LAFC style 4-3-3 system. Like you got Leash as a single pivot. You got Jay or Mayumba and Alzate as the midfielders. Then the wingers pinch in. Like it's Almiron and it's somebody else pinching in. Like he's doing that right now, kind of on the right side. Like if they just take away the 10 and he can just drift in, maybe you get a fullback that doesn't suck offensively, and maybe that's the way forward.
Well, it requires one of the fullbacks to be good in midfield, and I think you're seeing maybe why Ronald Hernandez, at least to some degree, is being played over Lennon in these 2 matches, because he can at least play a little bit in midfield. He's not the answer, clearly, but I think
that triangle with Hernandez and then Miggy and then Moranchuk in the middle has been very good. Like Ronnie pointed that out in the post game, like how effective that's been for them, just getting the ball to the place where it needs to go, and then whatever happens. But
the last several games they were doing well. Like that connection was heating up,
and they weren't bad today either. Like they were not the reason to.
Yeah, they weren't. Even the commentators pointed it out.
Yeah, because Hernandez, like for all his faults defensively, like him when he came in as a player, his strengths were him being a playmaker from the fullback position. Like he can create chances, not only from crosses, but he's fairly dynamic in kind of some of the stuff that he can do.
Yeah, and you saw There was a cutback on our side when I was standing with you for a few minutes. There was a cutback, and like he went to the edge of the box and didn't just go straight to the end line and do the same thing every time. On the right back question, you know, Lennon is on like a medium TAM deal, like a 750 or whatever. So if you don't bring him back, which is probably going to happen, and you have that 750 of just salary space, would you be comfortable picking up Hernandez's option at his recalibrated number, as Garth likes to call it, and then having Edwards as just his backup, or they share the position, and investing all that money somewhere else? Or are you still bringing in a right back? Because you still got Amador on the left side.
So I'm probably bringing in a right back.
You're probably bringing something in?
Yeah, absolutely bringing it. Because if I'm Chris Henderson, which is, I think, you know, what they're trying to do is win now. So you can't, I don't think you can go with Matt Edwards. I think Matt Edwards is depth, and decent depth that has potential. But
and depth for both sides and at center back. He's a valuable piece.
Exactly.
And if you
so
don't,
you definitely absolutely keep him.
So he'll be sold tomorrow, I'm sure.
Right. But
I was going to say, tell Luke to keep hitting the post and not scoring. One more. Do you think if Jay was healthy, he would have been traded?
Probably.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. No. I think you know, as much talk as they were saying,
I don't think they should, but
yeah, like as much as the talk that they were saying as well for, like, he's been the best player on the team. Like, you can't call someone the best player on the team and then trade them or transfer them out, and you know, still hold some water in the locker room. Like, you're just asking for it.
The only thing they could have done is if he was healthy, and we hadn't heard about this at all, but theoretically, like if a team from Belgium came calling or the championship and he wanted to go, you let him go.
Yeah,
but that's a whole.
That's just the MO of the club, is to bring those guys up to sell them. So like that's the end result that will ultimately happen. And when people are trying to move a lot of players, that's probably, and he's one of the most, you know, attractive pieces to move. I don't like it because you have a good player in Jay Fortune. Mm-hmm. He's on a homegrown contract. Like, he has some benefits to him from being here, from the way he's here. And you can then, like Nick was kind of saying, take some of those savings and apply them elsewhere by keeping a guy like that here. But that's never really what we do. So I don't expect that to be the case with him.
I
might be smart.
I don't necessarily like.
But,
right. And like you just said, it might be smart to do that. I think Chris knows a lot more about what.
I was about to say, Chris is a lot smarter than us, so he'll probably be like, "No, I'll know."
Yeah, I have a lot more like confidence that this is gonna be good, and I keep going back to, like, everyone was so confident at the start of this year, like all the pundits, all the fans, everybody.
You'd be crazy if you weren't confident. I don't.
Yeah, and even like we were getting mad at the freaking MLSsoccer.com pundits for picking us like 5th in the conference. Like, and I just think it was a lot of like, oh, Miggy's coming back, like he was good in the Premier League and all that. Like, it was just a little overhyped, and we should have. And it's hard to, hindsight's 2020, of course, you know, just like my glasses make me have 2020 vision, but it's really hard to look at it and be like, this could go wrong. But even then, if it was going to go wrong, we thought we would be like 8th. 9th.
Yeah, I know.
Like, not this.
No one could have predicted this collapse, but
this is like the first percentile outcome. So, but I have all that to say, I have a lot of confidence that next year is at least going to be better. Better than this.
It really can't be worse. So.
It could be. Don't say that. We could be Montreal or DC.
Hey, listen, I've said this before, and I will say it again. To me, there is no appreciable difference between where we are right now and literally Wooden Spoon last place. I just don't care. I don't care about that difference. We are just
but I'd rather have the
bad.
spoon. It'd be funnier.
I mean, who cares? Like, you could run with that. But, like, if you're just like, oh, yeah, we're either 12th or 13th or 14th or whatever, I'm like, you're just bad and you're not relevant and you're not in the conversation. Let's talk again when you're in the conversation.
We're going to finish 9th or the spoon, like, I don't care. Like,
so it's just like, you're just not relevant. It just doesn't matter. So, you know.
Yeah, we're the crux of it is this: we're not even the best at being the worst. So,
I mean, even the St. Louis is probably going to be the one that takes it, despite how bad the Galaxy were. They rattled off a couple wins there. Like,
yeah,
don't watch St. Louis. Oh my god, I made the mistake.
The Darby's exactly. I mean that El Trafico, it's just a different animal. But I do want to touch on Fortune again because it's this.
Okay.
I don't think that he actually is Europe level quality yet, and you know
I don't think so.
And unfortunately, I don't know if he has that potential because midfielders, it's a different thing. And if you're coming from MLS, like you have to be otherworldly, you have to be special.
As an Arsenal fan, you would know about midfielders.
I would, and so you know, it's the I was waiting for it. They're
Warwick,
it's basically it's one of these things where this type of players, like you have to have European experience, you know, or Argentinian experience, maybe Brazil, but other than that, like it's very rare that you're a central midfielder coming from MLS. Philadelphia, obviously, you know, has something to say about that. Dallas probably has something to say about that a little bit, but
it's just hard.
I mean, it's
your point's taken.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fine because you know if Jay wants to, like Jay can just get like he doesn't hit the cap for another couple years and then he's got those options. Like they could sign him to a senior deal and he still doesn't hit the cap. Like he doesn't have to be a homegrown anymore. Like they could give him, I bet they'll give him the deal next year. They'll easily pick up his option, but I bet they'll give him that deal next year. And yeah, you're right. Usually the guys that go from MLS are either closer to goal or like farther outside the pitch. Like
I wonder if
fullbacks or center backs.
This is like a nightmare scenario in my mind, but like, what if he got bought by another MLS team?
I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, I mean it could happen, but
it's not going to happen because of the injury. I mean, like just like when Lennon went down in the Miami series last year.
I thought we were like gaming out what if he wasn't injured and he was a potential sale option.
I mean,
and then if you guys are saying midfielders don't really get picked up by Europe, it's like okay, but what if that wasn't the only place calling?
Well, and if we got $800K for Morales, Jay's probably worth what, 1.3, 1.4?
Yeah, but again, I think you keep him. I mean, it's just
I would prefer to keep him too. Yeah, but
no break even.
What he brings to the side when I think he's part of the solution of a winning Atlanta side.
Yes, and he might not be starting on the Eastern Conference final team, but he's the first guy off the bench. You know, after Salish and Elzate, if it's those two, like or whoever it is, like he is there. It's the same thing we just talked about with Matt Edwards. Like it's the same thing. Like he's on a cup winning team. He's a quality depth piece. He's all that. What are you doing?
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So again, it's like I said near the top of the show, it's like, yeah, a lot of people want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, the whole family out with the bathwater, but you know, it's not completely like, yeah, just everything needs to go. Like, it's a large part that this defense has been a mess, and it really compounds forward, especially as well when you have pretty much bottom tier goalkeeping as well. Unfortunately, you know, that all doesn't help either, because I think somebody was in the Discord posting, you know, goalkeeper stats, and I mean, yeah, Braguzan's like third from bottom.
Can I leave you with a goalkeeper stat before I go? I'm gonna go in a second, but I think there's maybe like 15 or 16 goalkeepers in MLS history that have played 22,000 minutes. Who has the worst shot stopping numbers among all of them?
Woo.
Is it Braguzan?
It would be Bradley Edwin Guzan.
Yeah, because I'm like, why would you know this? Other than there being a reason for you to know it.
Yeah.
So he's basically like over 15 years in MLS or whatever. Well, maybe a little bit less than that, but aside from his years in Aston Villa and with the US, like he's basically been just good enough to keep his spot and not be replaced.
Well, sounds like me at my job.
Sums up his United tenure. I mean, He's had like 3-4, really good seasons. He had a couple really bad seasons. Like,
yeah, it pretty much is that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, when he came in, it's pretty much 2017, 2018, maybe parts of 2019.
He was good. He was really good in 21. Right after like that, they took off right after Gonzo came in. I mean, he was maybe overperforming a little bit, but they were really the entire defense and everybody was really good that year too. That was the year Miles was best 11. Like Jose was up there that year, and he had 24. And 23.
That's what I was telling you.
Bad too.
When the defense is at least somewhat competent in front of you. And then
last really made him look better, even if it wasn't. But I'm pretty sure I remember his 21 numbers being right. Last thing before I go, remind me to send the pictures I have. The VAR booth was right in front of 102 today. So when Miggy was over there, like being the captain and doing all the things, I was just over there, click, 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 click the whole time. So I'll make sure I send y'all those tomorrow.
Nice, awesome.
All right, y'all.
All right,
have a good one.
Well, Nick, pleasure, man.
Take care, buddy. Have a good night.
Bye. See ya.
So I'm gonna read a couple of these comments that I missed. One of them, or two of them, are I find kind of funny. Jubeku Bet. I cannot say his name.
French?
No, I think it might be African. Jubiku Begami says these, or maybe Japanese, who knows. These casters, I don't know if he's talking about us. These casters have the thickest skin in MLS to take all these losses and cuts day in and day out with a smile. So I don't know if he's talking about us. It sounds like he's talking to MLS commentators, but that wouldn't make sense for this. But I mean, we smile through the pain, so that's what we're doing for sure. Because if you don't, it's a sad state of affairs. And there was another one. So Kyle Apgar says, at least I get to watch two top-tier clubs play tomorrow with FC Cincy and Monterrey. Mihai has the best name for what it will take to make it through these games.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, for me, it's I'm gonna need to go to sleep very soon so that I can watch some actually good football.
Yeah, well, we're gonna get a couple more of these, and then we'll be pretty much ready to get out of here. Kyle also says, very kindly, by the way, Mike, glad to have you back. Hope everyone in the house is good. I missed your updates. Appreciate you, buddy. Feeling a little bit better. Still got some, things here and there, but for the most part, on the mend. Let's see, anything else? Platana knows Skype. Platana Nosa Skype. These names, man. The problem with changing the schedule is competing with college football, NFL, NBA, NHL. Furthermore, pregame activities like tailgate would be brutal.
It's pretty much all the major sports and college sports in America. You're asking for it pretty much. Like right now, they're in the sweet spot of being, maybe the only game in town for some of the sports in some of the cities. So it's tough. I mean, it's like if they did that, like I want it to be the European schedule, but there's a lot of logistical things that are massive hurdles. So
Omar GS says, Luke B was a highlight for me today. Team played decent, but the lack of finishing still killed us. Was kind of sad when most people got up and left after the second goal. Damn, it was the second goal? Because I know that the commentators at the, they specifically said the fans are streaming out of the stadium after the third goal. So if this was started with the second, that's even worse. Because I still thought we'd have a chance with the second, but because there was only 2-1 at that point. There's a chance you can make it to penalties. But
it was like 2-1 at 85th minute or something. It was pretty late. And I mean, you're just like, I used to be kind of sensitive about it, maybe back in like 2019 when that happened, but now like it's fully deserved. Like, unfortunately, Like, I'm not gonna walk out, but I understand why some people are walking out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's that, like, it's just that damning. Like what hope can you latch onto? Like, I don't know. I mean, yes, it just happened last match where we, drew a level last minute, but again, you can't do that every single game. We did it for, like, what was it, in 2022 or 23? Maybe it was like every other game. And yeah, it was like Mulroney got in on the action.
Oh, Jake.
Dwyer, all that, where somehow. So, yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, I get it. I get it. I mean, if it was where, okay, maybe we lost 2 in a row and, the fans are streaming out, like, that's probably overdoing it. And to be fair, yeah, if we look back on it, Frank de Boer, was it a little harsh on him? Maybe.
Man, how many times have we said that? I feel like we said that many times. All right, a couple more comments and then we'll be done here, guys. Kyle Apgar says, I didn't like the no call penalty for us because the player started. Guys, get ready. All right. Because the player started with arms behind him, then the last second, he puts it at his side to hit the ball. The intent was there to use the arm. He says he can prove intent with that evidence, AJ. What do you think of his case?
I think my internet went out a little bit, but
did you hear the case? Did you hear the evidence?
I think I heard a bit of it. Can you repeat it?
Yeah, so
the
player started with his, for the wall, the player started with the arms behind. But then at the last second, he put it to his side in order to hit the ball. He says the intent was there to use the arm then.
Yeah, but the intent and where the hands are, it's a natural part of it, unfortunately. And I think that's probably where they interpret that rule the most, is that the arms are by the side. I mean, if it went maybe a little further out, they'd probably call the penalty.
Yeah.
But if it's by his leg, by his hips, I rarely see that.
Because the other thing is, if you want to make a hard rule where, people who are part of a wall, you have to have your arms cross against your chest at all times, and then if you violate that, then that's a handball, then okay. But that's not the case here. Also, having your arms at your sides is, like you said, a natural position. So thus, if that gets hit, because a lot of players, they'll put their hands over their crotch or up onto their chest, and that makes them smaller comparatively. But if they keep their arms aside, that's still technically legal too. So it's still natural.
Right.
Go ahead.
This, where if they had their hand at their crotch and the ball hits them on their hand, that's not a handball either. And if they're say if the ball was headed towards their hand, wasn't on yet, but they're intending to block that ball with their hand, but again, it's in a natural position because they're trying to not get nailed there. So yeah, it's I think that's usually how it's interpreted, but it's also, it can be left up to interpretation. That's the unfortunate thing about I think a lot of the football rules, and that's why there's so many problems with refs.
Yeah. All right, well, guys, that pretty much does it for us here. Because it's a Leagues Cup game, we're not going to be doing the wheel tonight, but we will get that back going for the regular season games, so look for that. So that's pretty much it for us, AJ. I didn't see any more questions in the chat, so thanks for everyone hanging out. There was just a few seconds ago 26 of you guys hanging out. Appreciate you guys well after midnight tonight with a Leagues Cup game of all things. So appreciate you guys sticking it out. It was a shit game. It's been a shit season. And mercifully, it can just be over sooner rather than later. But we still got a bit of the season left. So hopefully we can at least have something fun to talk about. And at the very, very, very least, we can have a good time hanging out with you guys after these games.
Indeed. I mean, it always is. And I think, yeah, hopefully that's the hope is, and this kills you, but that we have something to cheer about, you know, at the end of the season. Something. But, yeah, guys, for Michael, I'm AJ. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you in the next video. Good night.
Yeah.